To examine or to evaluate, the subtle differences between these words at the heart of a new debate in the State Board of Education about how students in Texas classrooms will learn about evolution.
Today, the Board of Education heard public testimony from people who feel strongly about these words. KXAN's Alyssa Gord has the latest on how these state standards are shaping up.
As the Texas State Board of Education writes curriculum standards, much of their attention is going to the evolution lessons in 8th grade biology class.
This discussion has been framed as a creationism versus evolution. There's really nothing in the rule text that really even suggests that.
The question is, what kind of language do we insert into those standards?
Some board members originally supported the idea that students should evaluate evolution alongside other theories, but the board's vice chair says they've found a word that fits better with the scientific method.
One of the middle grounds that was discussed today was using the term examine.
And understanding that the science is what we can empirically measure and observe, versus, there are certain things is that when the Bible says we walk by faith, not by sight, well, that tells you that there are certain things that you accept by faith.
Central Texas board member Tom Maynard says he supports using the word examine in these standards.
It does not necessarily preclude students and teachers from having a discussion beyond the content of those standards.
And it's my hope that we're not now creating a new term of art to promote anti-evolution teaching in our public school classrooms.
Kathy Miller of the Texas Freedom Network says she hopes anti-evolution activists don't change the board's mind on this wording by Friday.
But I'm never sure until it's over.
Alyssa Gord, KXAN News.
The committee of the full board will meet on Wednesday, and then the State Board of Education will vote on the changes to these standards on Friday. The standards up for debate are actually part of two sections covered in the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, or TEX test. One section tests the student's knowledge of cells. The other section looks at mechanisms of genetics, including scientific explanations for the origin of DNA.